Failing at leadership. Something I think too often, more often than not, we don't talk about. And in this video, I want to break down some failures and some stuff about failing in leadership, specifically military leadership, to maybe look at things through some new perspectives. The first thing that I need you to know is that you have to have the guts to fail. Too many times I think that we live a coward's life. I'm worried about what somebody else is going to say. I'm worried about how it's going to look. I'm worried about X, Y, and Z. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my finances. I'm worried about the promotion that I want. And so we never truly have the guts to get after it and to take some risks. Team, I'm telling you, you have to have the guts to fail. Because here's another thing about failure, is that you are going to fail at things that you don't like doing, right? You're going to be told to do some work at your job, and you're not going to cut everything to standard. That's just how life is. It throws you lemons, and you're not going to like it. And your job is going to turn into a grind. And you're going to keep being processed in this meat packing plant until you explode or quit or move on to something else. But if we can know and understand that we are going to and that we can fail at doing things that we do not like, that should all the more give us even a greater sense of motivation to go after the things that we do like and to be okay with it. It's okay to dream big. It's okay to dream big and not even make it big. But did you have the guts to live with a sense of authenticity, going after the things that you love? Or were you just crap shooting out? Because it's in this, I think, that if you never failed, if you never had a bad day, the truth is, as far as I can tell, you may never have tried at all in the first place. You get stuck in between the bumpers, and you're just going down the lane, and you're just trying to make it down to the end with as little or least of a cost on you as you can possibly afford. That's not the kind of life that I want to live. And I'm sure it's not the kind of life that you want to live. So work a little bit harder. See what you can't end up in. And you know what? Some of those days it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a hot mess. And as soon as you get over that challenge and that hurdle, there's going to be another one sitting on the other side waiting for you as well, man. It's unfortunate, but that's life. But that's also the beauty in it. Because it is in and through these events that we can become more refined in our own personal virtues, values, and beliefs. We become a better version of who we thought that we wanted to be. But only if we had the guts to do it. Because I think, to think about it a different way is that I don't want you to feel like you're broke. I want you to know and understand that your impact on others is the greatest currency that you have. If you're too busy chasing different things, then you're never going to see the true value that your life has on other people around you. And the same is true, because I'm sure that you look at others and are extremely thankful for some of your close friends and your family being in your life, for some of your coworkers, for some of the people that you work for or have worked for. They've had a serious impact on you. Well, don't let that rob you from giving to others what you have received. I know that if I have given anything, it is only because I have first received. And I feel a sense of obligation, if that's the right word here. Because I don't want to be this container that only collects. If I have the opportunity to pour out into others, that's where the magic happens. And it doesn't matter if your impact is on a global stage, if it's on a national stage, if it's just with your team. Understand that impact that you're having and let that be your currency. Let that give you some sense of value for yourself. Because when we don't do that, we are ultimately setting ourselves on this road of failure in a deeper sense. When success becomes defined by physical things in life, like having a bigger house, a nicer car, more money in the bank, being able to go on vacations, having more power. If that's where our success is defined at, we're a failure. Happens all the time. And too many times we can't even heed the warnings when we look at people that have quote unquote made it and they have disastrous lives on the personal side of the house and in their business. It may take years and decades for it to happen, but it happens all the time. And who are we to think that we are somehow better, more elevated than they were? That we can somehow make it? What we need to do is realize that that's not where success and happiness is. Some of the best places that I've been to when it came to this sense of contentment and being happy with oneself and one's family have been in some of the poorest, dirtiest, nastiest places on earth. Down in South America, in Peru, up in Cusco, over in Calcutta, India, and even in a few places in Iraq. I was pleasantly surprised at the sense of happiness that people had about themselves, living what others may assume to be is an atrocious life, but there they are, having the guts to get out and take care of themselves, those who are in their charge, and seeing the beauty and the value that ultimately it's relationships that brings the best joy. Team, just a few thoughts, man, about failing in leadership, as it were. And I'm sure that if we talk some jib-jab, we could talk about some specifics. But ultimately, I think it's better to peel that skin off a little bit and get at the root of it. Too many people want to talk about surface level failures. They want to talk about how a specific leader failed, whether they want to complain about the President of the United States, a Commander-in-Chief, Secretary of Defense. They want to talk about a commander or senior enlisted advisor. When ultimately, when we do these things, we run the risk of doing the exact same thing and ultimately becoming a failure ourselves. I don't know. Just how I see it. Team, I'm looking forward to hearing how you see it down in the comments below as we continue to master our craft and develop our tactical virtue. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.